Hi, I'm Sylvia Darby, co-owner of Foundation Fit. We're a personal training gym in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina, and we're just hoping to put out a little bit of information on frequently asked questions in the personal training world. All right, this next topic is a little different, but it's definitely part of the picture of health. And it's detox. What is detox? Why do you do it? How do you do it? What's the answer to it? Lots of layers here, and depending on what you Google, you're going to find a lot of different answers. Most people immediately go to just food. I'm going to detox and do a juice cleanse for 7 to 8 days. Try it. See what it does for you. That's not the kind of detox that I have discovered that I have the greatest benefit from. It might be part of the puzzle, but I don't think it's the only answer. So let's talk about all the different ways and angles that you can approach detox. Yes, you can approach it from food. You can detox from things like meat and sugars and alcohol and caffeine and processed chemicals and dyes and nicotine. All of those things have huge impacts on the toxicity that you carry around in your body, and you can break them down as to how. Your gut, your liver, your brain, your skin, your joints, pretty much every organ in your body can be affected by things that you are ingesting. Food is meant to be a fuel and a healing medicine. So if what you're eating and what you're ingesting doesn't do that, it's probably creating toxicity. So looking at the food list, those are things that you might want to take a 6 to 8 to 12 week detox from, and just use it as an experiment. See the impact that it has to be without caffeine for 8 to 12 weeks. See the impact that it has to be without alcohol from 8 to 12 weeks. Maybe you detox from the amount of meat that you're eating. I am a meat eater, not promoting that you need to be a vegetarian, but sometimes we don't really look at the quality of the meat we're eating or how much we're eating, and maybe our body and our digestive system just needs a little break. Experiment with it. See what you think. Limit stress. So this is something that doesn't have to do with food, but it has to do with your environment and just the caliber that you're running at 24/7. Stress can deeply impact your toxicity levels. It impacts sleep, which is where you processed a lot of your toxins. It's where you renew and you reflourish your cells. It's where you push toxins out of your body. Your lymph system kicks in. Hormones are supposed to regulate a little bit during sleep instead of be going absolutely crazy. So when your stress levels are high, usually your sleep is low. So both of those things are just this angry battle going on, creating toxicity in your body. Increasing blood flow. This is something you could experiment with as well, whether that's regular foam rolling or regular massages. The impact of regular blood flow on your body and pushing toxins out and decreasing stress, promoting relaxation and better sleep. There's the picture for you. That's how it's going to help with toxicity. Epsom salt baths. This is something that I have experimented with personally and have found great benefit to. 2 to 3 days a week, some Epsom salt, plain Epsom salt, or you can get the ones that are infused with oils and scents, and just kind of adds to the experience, makes it a little bit better. But this is a great way to just kind of pull toxins and soreness and lactic acid and anything that your body's processing out. Do you need to follow it up with flushing a lot of water through your system? Absolutely. But toxicities or toxins can be pulled from your body by the way of an Epsom salt bath. And it also just kind of mentally and physically relaxes you, which is an extra bonus. Removing chemicals from your skin, from your environment. This one is one that I also have experimented with, and it's taken some time, and it also has opened my eyes in a dramatic way to the amount of toxins in our environment. From your makeup, to your lotion, to your shampoos, to your deodorant, to the chemicals you clean your house, you wash your clothes. It's everywhere. It's absolutely everywhere. So maybe starting to peel back the layers just one piece at a time. This can be an overwhelming task to try to tackle. So I have just kind of looked to people that have gone before me and asked for advice, whether it's a podcast, a friend, wherever I might find that advice. And I have just bitten off a little bit at a time. So say, for example, starting with your deodorant. Forget everything else. Keep your normal routine with everything else. Start researching some more natural deodorants. This one is right near lymph nodes, right in some very vulnerable skin. If you're a female and you're shaving and you're exfoliating that skin and then you're applying chemicals, Not a good environment, not a good environment at all. So maybe just experimenting with that one. But once you start to do one and you feel that you have mastered it into your schedule and it's a regular thing, then tackle the next. Okay, maybe I'm gonna look at the cleaning products around my house, and that's gonna be the next one. Maybe I'm gonna look at the lotions that I put on my body after I shower. It's interesting. It's really interesting to see the levels of toxins in our environment that we just so readily apply to ourselves and surround ourselves with. Dry brushing. This is one that I've experimented with personally as well. And I'm not here to promote any certain brand or any certain way to do it. I can just tell you that I've had positive effects from it. So it's kind of a rough bristle brush, and it's to help your lymph fluid. I had talked in an earlier lesson about how your lymphatic system is a low pressure system and it needs a little bit of help, a little bit of a push. So I dry brush about 2 to 3 times a week, and I just push and help that lymph fluid move through my body. It helps to exfoliate dry skin and just kind of rejuvenate things. And I have seen some great benefits between the Epsom salt baths, the dry brushing, and then replacing chemicals on my body with things that are more natural. Just those 3 things right there. Next one's gonna be vitamin D, stepping outside. We are such an internal environment right now, between our computers and between working from home and between our TVs and everything else that draws us into the house. We've eliminated outside time. Vitamin D, fresh air, have a great impact on your toxin levels as well as grounding. So stepping outside without shoes on, grounding, pulling the negative ions out of your body. Experiment with this. Step outside without any shoes on and walk through your grass for about 10 minutes. And then do the same thing the next day with your shoes on, your rubber shoes. And you tell me that you don't see a difference. So this is something I've experimented with as well. Myself, my kids, is just making a regular habit of stepping outside with no shoes on. Easy as that. Unplugging electronics in your house. So your electromagnetic radiation is just everywhere. Between the things that we plug in, the Wi-Fi that we use, all the appliances that are in our day-to-day life, it's everywhere. And your body is absorbing it, especially when you stay inside. Things that we used to not need electronics for, like coffee, for example. We would just boil water over the stove. Well, now we have a machine that we plug in, and that's how we get our coffee. So either unplugging things in your house or investing in a device that goes in your house that helps to pull this radiation from your house. Maybe just paying attention to the rooms that you sleep in at least. What all do I have plugged in is my phone by the bed. Working on these things can help those toxic levels. And then I'm gonna end with the no-brainer that is the easiest one. You just have to be intentional. Water, flush it out. Be intentional about setting a goal for the day, having a visual goal with a bottle that has markers where I will drink this much by this time, this much by this time, or I need to fill this bottle X amount of times. You can't just say I'm going to drink more water. It doesn't happen. You got to have a legitimate goal for the day. So again, like I mentioned, take 1 or 2 of these things. That's how you'll be successful, and that's how you will feel that you can start tackling more and more and leading more of a toxic-free life.